Hello guys, Antoine here for Simarchitecture and welcome back to a new video. So today we're not building a house, we're not building a palace, a mansion or even a chateau, we are building a witchcraft school. This is actually the first time that I'll build a school in The Sims, or at least that I do a spit build about it. And I'm pretty excited to show you what I created. So this video is actually divided in two parts. Because it's a very large build, as you will see later on in the video. So there's the first part, which is about the exterior and the first floor of the school, and in the second video you will see the basement and the second floor. So this build is located in Simarchitecture in this big 64 by 64 lot, which is overlooking the lake, and I absolutely love this place. Lighting is very cool, and yeah, the whole environment around this lot is very cool, and I think I only did one build on it. So it was the perfect occasion to come back here, and I think the lot is kind of adapted for a school or a big institution. First I wanted to build a museum. Actually, when I built the exterior of this, I was like, okay, what am I going to do with this? It is somehow inspired by the Smithsonian Institute in Washington, DC. And then, yeah, I wanted to build a museum, or yeah, city museum. I didn't really know what it would be specialized about. So, yeah, I already built a museum. By the way, if you remember, it was the Bose Museum, which is a real museum which exists. It's located in the UK. So I was like, no, I already built one museum. Let's build something that I've never done before. So I decided to do a witchcraft school, which was something that a lot of people did when the Magic Stuff pack was released, and I didn't do it, and it was finally time for me to do it. So we here with this big build. Actually, this is one of the only builds that I've built without almost any photography as model or anything. Actually, I just kept building and building without looking at pictures or much inspiration, and it's cool actually just to build freely without anything to compare. And it's something that I would like to do more, because yeah, I realized that there's some things that I would have done if I had a picture in front of me, like new techniques, new ways of using some items or objects. So it was very cool. Quickly about the exterior, I decided to put a lot of towers just to give a very grand and dramatic dimension to the build. It's somehow from afar, it somehow looks like a church or an abbey. Some people thought it was somehow like Westminster Abbey or the British Parliament in London. So it's true, it somehow looks like neo-Gothic architecture, and it was probably in my mind when I was building this. But it also looks, I think, like big university buildings that you can see in some American universities. So it's a mix of several inspirations, several styles, and I think altogether it looks pretty good. So as I said, I put a lot of towers. I tried to make each tower different and unique, so it doesn't get boring and repetitive. And yeah, actually all of this is pretty light. I used some light stone and white ornaments like columns, columns, yeah, windows, some decorative elements, statues, and so on. Also about the garden, it's not really a garden. I really wanted it to look like a campus or something like this, with big grass areas, some trees, some flowers, fountains, sitting areas, just to make it a very nice place where all the students can meet during the break or during the weekend, because some of them are living in the school. You will see that Hogwarts, of course, was an inspiration for this, but also the X-Men school, which I forgot the name, even though I seen all the X-Men movies. Anyway, it was also a big inspiration for this build, but I decided to focus on witchcraft because we have, we have a witchcraft game pack, and we don't have a mutants or I don't know what superheroes game pack. So I decided to focus on this, and it also gave me more possibilities in term of doing some different kind of classrooms, and yeah, I think it was more fun to focus on witchcraft. So I think it's pretty much everything about the exterior, and now we can go on and talk about the interior. So it's very big, and I have to admit it was a real nightmare for the floor plan. Really, it was just terrible, and I think I spent around 3 hours or maybe more just on the floor plan. Actually, I spent more time on the floor plan than just building the whole thing. So I was very frustrated, and during 2 days I tried doing something and it just didn't look the way I wanted it to look, so I just changed it all, and yeah, I came up to this floor plan, which is kind of satisfying actually, I think. What was difficult actually is that there are a lot of towers, a lot of different parts, and you have to find a place for the staircase, and of course it's a big build, so you need several staircases and so on, so it was very complicated. And also it's quite funny, it was big but not big enough to build several classrooms and so on, so I decided to build a basement that you will see in the next video, and it was also somehow difficult to figure out how the basement should look and how all the rooms should be designed, because there are several rooms that are a little bit secret that you will discover later, not in this video but probably in a few days in the second part of this build. So yeah, it was quite challenging to do the floor plan, but now I'm done with this and I just have to decorate the rooms, and it feels super cool. So there is the main entrance with actually 3 succession kind of 3 different holes. There is on the left when you come in, there is a small desk, like a the reception desk. Probably with an employee that's staying here all the day for just to welcome the people who are coming here, the parents, the children, the anyone. And there is also another hole on the other side that goes to the backyard. There are all the trophies that are won by the children in the school. There is also toilets, and there's another office which is probably for the headmaster. No, actually it's not for the headmaster, because you will see in the next video the headmaster has a whole floor just for himself with an office and a real apartment. So probably this small office downstairs is for just the professor or the man who's watching after all the people during the day. Just like in Harry Potter, kind of, but there isn't this bad cat who's following everyone. Anyway, there is also in this first floor a big room where everyone is gathering, where people are eating, and I know that some of you are gonna ask, where is the kitchen? The kitchen is downstairs. I didn't do it yet, but I will in the next in the next episode of this build. It will be downstairs, just because it doesn't make sense to have it on the first floor. So the big room is somehow inspired by Harry Potter, I have to admit it. It's much smaller, but in the spirit it's kind of like Harry Potter, and I really like it. It's a very nice place. And also, still on the first floor, there is corridors with sitting areas, and there are 2 classrooms. So one of them is the divination classroom. which also is inspired by Harry Potter. Well, okay, the whole build is inspired by Harry Potter. So the divination classroom is very cool, I think. I love the atmosphere. It looks very mysterious. I used a lot of purple items. I don't know if you know it, but purple is most of the time associated to dreams and mysterious things. So yeah, it was definitely a color that I should use for a divination classroom. And I like this room because I try to put a lot of clutter, and if you know me and if you know my builds, I'm not this kind of builder that like to put clutter everywhere, just first because it's time consuming and also because I like clean things, you know. But in the Witchcraft school, I thought it would be nice to have clutter items pretty much everywhere, just to make it look like actual people are living and studying here, like just to feel like there's a life in this building. So yeah, that's why I decided to spend more time on decorating and putting clutter everywhere. And I was talking about the divination classroom, but there's another classroom, which is the classroom dedicated to botany, I think it's called, botanical classroom. So it somehow looks like a greenhouse. Actually, there are plants everywhere. It's somehow overgrown by yeah, you know, those plants that are growing on the walls. And there is a big central table with plants, books, clutter items once again, with all you need to study. And just after that, just next to this classroom, there's a private office for the teacher who's teaching the botany. So it was very fun to do. At first I was like, oh, I would never have enough plants, it would just looks empty and terrible. But then I used the debug items, as you will see. This build is 100% CC free, but I use many debug items, which I think is good when you want to put clutter everywhere. So yeah, it's CC free, but you will need probably all the packs. I didn't apply any restriction when it comes to using this pack or that pack. I used them all, I think. I'm not sure. I will know when I will upload the build. But even if you don't have all the packs, I think it doesn't really matter. The most important packs would be, I think, University, well, I forgot it. Well, the Magical Game Pack, let's call it like this. Magic Stuff Game Pack, or no, I don't remember. Anyway, and also you will need the Vampire Stuff Pack, which is a game pack. Yes. And I think those are the three main things that you would need if you want to download this build. So if you're into magic or just mystery things in your game, I think you already have these packs, and yeah, you'll be good with this. Now I think I told you everything about the first part of the build. There is a lot of new rooms and secrets that are coming in the next video, and I'm really excited to present you all the other stuff that I created for this build. Actually, when I'm recording this, I still didn't finish the rooms I'm talking about, so I will go back to my computer after that and work on the build. I have to say I have a lot of inspiration because it's a different kind of build, and yeah, you know, it's not like building mansions and mansions and mansions. It's just different. There's something special about this build, and it's very exciting. Like, I can try new objects, new possibilities, new items that I never used before because I didn't like the style, but it really matches the school, so it's pretty cool. I'm thinking, for example, of the chairs that you're seeing right now in the Great Hall. So yeah, it's okay. I feel like I'm saying this all the time, but it's probably one of my favorite builds. But I know that every time I release a build, I'm like, okay, this one is my favorite one. But no, they are all in their way my favorite builds. Anyway, I don't know what I'm talking about, and I think it's time for me to leave you because I already talk long enough and you're probably fed up with my voice. So you will be able to enjoy the rest of the video. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you soon for the second part. Bye.